Hi friends, it's Kamal and you're watching Maths by Jajoria. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. In this video, I will explain about solving quadratic equations. I have discussed in my previous videos factorization quadratic equations. So I will really recommend that you watch that videos first before moving on to this video. Okay, so in this video, there will be further explanation of quadratic equations, how we can solve with the different methods. So I will explain 3 different methods in this video. So let's start with this one first. So solving quadratic equation. Now the quadratic equation can be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a, b and c are real constant. You can also say a, b, c are coefficients of the constant, okay, where a is not equal to 0. Quadratic equation can have 1, 2 or no real solution. So when we talk about the solution to an equation, we also sometimes call the roots of the equations, okay. So sometimes we call what? Roots of the equation. Okay, so to solve a quadratic equation by factorizing, the first what we do, write the equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, then factorize the left hand side and then set the factor equal to 0 and find the values of value of x. Okay, this is how we'll proceed. Okay, so let's have one example. Okay, so in this example we have x squared 5x plus 18, that is equal to 2 plus 3x. So first what we have to do, we have to rearrange into the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so rearrange into the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, so let's do this. Got here plus 3x, so we bring this here, then 2 as well, bring here, that will be minus 2, that will be 0. Okay, further simplify this. That will give us this. So what we have done now, we have rearranged into the quadratic form, which is this one. Okay, now next step is to factorize this. As I already have explained that I have separate videos on factorization in detail, so I will really recommend that you watch that first. However, I will still continue to explain in this video as well. Okay, so let's factorize this so that we will get okay, so I write down here as well. So the product minus 4 multiply minus 4, that will give 16. Okay, because we have to get this 16 as a multiplication, which is as a product, so that we got, and then you add that number, we must get minus 8. So add these numbers will give us this. Okay, so that's what I got this here. Okay, now further simplify this, and that will give us okay. In this example, you see we have got repeated roots. Okay, so where the quadratic equation has exactly one root, so which is like here x minus 4 and x minus 4, usually you don't get that. However, if you get that, it's called repeated roots. Okay, and you can say that the equation has two equal roots, whichever way you want to say. Okay, now you can write as like this as well. And that will give us x equal to 4. Okay, so they are equal roots, right? So this is the value. So now here set each factor equal to 0 and solve to find the value of the x. So this is what you got, value of the x. That's the one example, right? Okay, and let's move on to the another example as well. Finish that as well. Okay, so in this example we have 5x squared minus 10 squared equal to minus 7 plus x squared. Okay, now again, so you rearrange this, that will give us, bring this other side just by changing this sign. Okay, and then further simplify this. You have a minus 10x squared and then you have minus x squared. Okay, so that will give us, you use this one. Okay, right, then you have minus x plus 7 equal to 0. Okay, so what this will give us, minus 11x squared minus x plus 7. Okay, so here what we can do here, further simplify this, that will give us minus 6x squared minus x plus 7 equal to 0. Okay, now as you know, we need to get, first we need to multiply this number and factorize. So what we need to get here, the product, that is minus 42. Okay, because minus 6 and multiply 7, that will give you minus 42. So write down here for you. So we have to get the factor where the product minus 42 and then sum or add, whichever you want to call, will give us -1, because you have here minus x here. So that's like -1. And that can be solved by using -7 multiply 6. That gives us -42. And then when we add this number, that gives us -1. You can also write like this. It can be easier for you as well. Okay. So now simply use these, factorize the equation. So we got this here. Okay, plus 6 minus 7x plus 7 equal to 0. Okay, now just to make a simple this equation to solve, what you can also do, you can just change all the sign, or you can say multiply the whole equation by -1. Okay, so say if I do this, that will give us 6x squared, okay, minus 6x plus 7x minus 7 is equal to 0. Okay, so if I say that, I can just multiply this with minus the whole equation. That will just give you this equation so that you can easily solve this now. Okay, this can be done as well. Then you got 6x. Solve this first. Okay, so now each factor be equal to 0. So let's get the factors now. Equal to 0. Okay, and that can be written as like this. X will be -7 by 6, or x equal to 1. Okay, this is what we got now, right? So this is when you can solve your quadratic equation, and you can factorize that as well. Now that really, sometimes you have an equation where it's not possible to factorize. Okay, some equation cannot be easily factorized. Okay, so then you have a different method of solving that equation. Okay, so this is one of the examples. So you can also solve the quadratic equation by using a quadratic formula. Okay, so let's say you have a solution of this equation, and that are given by the formula, this formula here. Okay, so let me explain to you. You got the equation here, ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, and the equation cannot be easily factorized. Yeah, sometimes you cannot really have factorized the equation. In that case, you can solve that by given formula where x equal to minus b. So you have here your b, that is your a, that's your c. Okay, minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac whole term divided by 2a. Okay, and it's also say here that a, b, c are called coefficient or the constants. So as I previously said, that a, b, c, you can also say constant, or you can also say coefficients of this equation. Okay, that's clear? Okay, so let's solve this equation now. Let's say solve 3x squared minus 7x minus 1 equal to 0, right? So first of all, you identify what is A here, B, and your C. Okay, once you identify that, then all you need to do, substitute these into this formula. Okay, so that I do. So what's your B here? -7, but here is minus B. So careful with that. So you got 2 minus here. Okay, then you got plus minus. Use the square root sign. B square. B here, yeah, -7. That you got B square. Then you got -4. What is your A here? 3. Then what's your C? -1. So it's best to put -1 in a bracket, okay, so that you don't get confused by, before you solve this equation and make mistake on that. Then you got 2a, 2 multiply 3. Okay, so always careful if the equation has a minus sign, because you also have minus here in the formula. Okay, so this is where you can easily make mistake. Okay, once you have this in this formula, then you further simplify that. Okay, minus minus multiply, that gives you 7 plus minus. Okay, then you got here 49. Solve this one here, that will give you 12. Okay, because you're multiplying, you got 1 minus sign here, 1 minus, that will give you plus, and then you multiply that. 4 multiply 3, and then, but however, it will give you plus sign because of the 2 minus there. 6, right? And that will give you 7 plus minus square root of 61 by 6. Okay, then you can use a calculator if you want to. You got 2 solutions here. X value, one with the 7 plus square root of 61, 6, or you got x equal to 7 minus square root of 61 by 6. So by using calculator, when you will do this, you will get this value, x equal to one value 2.47, or x equal to minus 0.135. So you can use the calculator, and this is what you will get. So okay, so you got these x values here. Okay, hope it's clear to you. Okay, now move on to another method, and this method is frequently useful to rewrite a quadratic equation, and we say by completing the square. Okay, so in the exam, if they give you, then they will say, okay, this is what it is, and then can you please complete this by completing the square. Okay, if you have been given a quadratic equation in this form, x squared plus bx, then you have to solve in this manner. X plus b, so where the b is, you half that, and then square of that, minus b half again, and then you square of that one. Okay, a quadratic equation expression in the form, so in the exam they will ask you, write down in this form. Okay, p outside the bracket, and then you go to inside the bracket is x plus q, and the whole bracket is square, plus r, where p, q, r are real constants, and then they say is in the completed square form. Okay, so something like this they will give you. However, if you also have a quadratic expression in ax squared plus bx plus c, then you have to use in this manner, this formula, this method. Okay, let me just show you a few examples, and that will clear your doubt if you have any, right? So first I will quickly go with a very simple example where you have got 2x squared minus 12x. So you see this quadratic expression is in this form here, x squared plus bx. Okay, so let's take coefficient of x squared is 2, so take out a factor of 2. Okay, so you got here 2x squared minus 6x. So now you have got this in this form, right? So this can be written by using this formula here. Half of 6 is 3. Okay, square, then minus half of 6 3 square, so that is 3 square. Okay, now you just expand the outer bracket. Okay, so what is here? You got 9. Okay, and then 9 multiplied to 18. Okay, so this is explained to you how did you use this formula with this when you have to rewrite the quadratic expression. Okay, by completing the square. So don't forget, they will say by completing the square. Okay, now the next two example. Okay, the exam type questions. In this one is given that x squared plus 3x plus 6. Okay, and they say you have to write in this form. Okay, so they're saying that this is equal to that, basically this form. This is what we need to prove. Then they say find the value of constants a and b. Okay, a and b, right? So what we have here, square plus 3x plus 6. Okay, so again what we can do, you can use this one in this form here, x squared plus bx. Okay, and we can simplify. So this can be written x plus 3 divided by 2. Okay, remember it says x plus b divided by 2, so it's like half of b. So this is your b here. Yeah, this is your b. Okay, then minus half of b square. Okay, so then you got again 3 divided by 2 square. Okay, 3 by 2 square. Then you plus 6 you already have, and you write plus 6 here. Clear so far? Okay, so we use this formula here. Okay, to simplify this. Okay, now it just simplify further. That will give us Now here you have this. Okay. If you want, you can write like this as well. So that will be what? That will give us 15 by 4, 15 divided by 4. Okay. So you can write in this form. Now, because it's saying find the value of the constant a and b. So what is our a here? And what is our b here? Okay. So in this one, we got here and b equal to 15 by 4. Okay. Because we have to go with this equation. Okay. So with this one, this is what we rewrite in this way. Okay. In this equation, this is your a here. So don't get confused with the formula here, please. Okay. Even though the formula is like this, however, the equation has been given to you in this form. So a here is your this, and your b here is your 15 by 4. Okay. So always see what actually is given to you. Okay. So the equation was given to you in this form, right? Let's do one more. Okay. One more example by using these formulas. Okay. So in here it says write 2 plus 0.8x minus 0.04x square in the form. Okay, so remember, this is the form we need to rewrite. Okay, always look for that what they are actually asking, in which form they are asking, where a, b, c are constant to be determined. Okay, so this is where they always write, where a, b, and c, they are constants. Okay, to be determined. Okay, right. This kind of question, they carry quite a good marks in the exam. So what we do is simply we rewrite first in the equation where we can solve, right? So how we can do it? So we can x squared here, so we can bring that first. Okay. Then you have 0.8x. Okay. This 0.8x, and then what you have 2 here. Okay, so we rewrite this one in the quadratic expression like we have here ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so first we write in this. Once we have that, okay, then you see what is your a squared plus bx in this, right? So what we can do, we can simplify this again by taking minus 0.04 outside the bracket. Okay, and this is what we will get. Okay, now I would like to simplify this for you just to show you. So because you have taken minus 0.04 outside, okay, and some of you will ask why is 20x in there. So this is what I got. you already had this here. So in other words, if I say you divide that with that, okay, so 0.8 divided by 0.04, that will give you 20, right? So that's why the 20 here, because you have taken minus 0.04 outside the bracket, right? Okay. So once you have this, so let's rewrite. So that will be minus 0.04, and this would be x minus 10 square, yeah, and then minus 10 square, okay, from this formula, completing the square formula here. This is what we write here, okay. Then minus, because 20, this is here half, yeah, that's why you got 10 here, the square minus again, this is your b here, so half of that b, that's 10 square again, then you got here plus 2, okay. Simplify this, that will give you okay. Now I'm just going to move on to, once you have multiply, so this one basically, that will give you plus 4, then you got plus 2 here already, okay. If you want, I can write down here, so you got here minus 100 when you multiply with minus 0.04, that will give you 4, okay. So that 4 we got it from there. Now you got here from about 6, yeah, okay, so this is the 6 you got here, so you got here your 6 got minus 0.04, then your rest of the question here, okay. So now you see you have rewrite the equation in this form which the examiner asks you, okay. So you got this here. Once you have that, then you know what is your A. 6 is your A here, then your B, that's your B here, and then your C, and that's your C here, okay. So I write down A is your 6, B is your 0.04, okay, because this here is minus, this is your minus, and this is your minus as well, and that's why you got here the positive, okay. And the CEO here is minus 10, okay. So these are the methods we use in quadratic equations. Different methods can be asked in the exam, different way of solving, and you learn here that sometime when you can't really have exact factorization, or you cannot really factorize the equations, then you have a different methods which can be used to simplify. Hope you understand that, and do me a favor, if you like this video and if you're finding this video informative, please like and subscribe this video. As I always say that when you like this and subscribe, click the bell item, and it just motivates me to make more videos. So be sure to click that like button Bella as well, item, and then drop their comments if you have any question, and then I will do my best to reply. Thank you.